Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Thomas Tool Tuesday for the week of February 9th. Today, we're going to go over one of my favorite websites. That is the National Weather Service's DESI. Here it is. This is it. It's the Dynamic Ensemble-based Scenarios for Impact Decision Support. It has a few features that we're going to go over, a few highlights. It's a web application that NOAA has made with a layering system, some probabilistic sounding viewership, and some different weather models to look at. So let's jump right into it. This is it. This is DESI. A few key features to note first. Let's talk about the map controls. First, you can look at either a three-dimensional globe or a two-dimensional view of the Earth. You can also zoom in and zoom out using these dynamic zoom panels as well. And you can also see where you're facing relative to north in case you do decide to twist the map around, which you can do by right-clicking. So now that we've taken a look at that, let's take a look at some key features. This has a variety of different weather models that pop up with it. I won't go over what all of these are. If you'd like me to talk about specific weather models and the NOAA Unified Forecast System upgrade in the future Thomas Tool Tuesday, please feel free to let me know. But let's go over what we can talk about here. Let's say you're making a temperature forecast for mid-Missouri over the next couple of days, and you're using the latest ensemble from NOAA, that is the REFS. First thing you might think is, okay, we can look at standard temperatures and see what's going on across the state. And this gives you a decent idea of what to expect, but there are a few things that we can do to improve this further. First thing we can do is we can go to this layers panel, and you'll notice there are two. The first one is to select and replace layers. So if I go to upper levels and I hit like 250 millibar winds and heights, if I have this selection panel on, it replaces the temperature stuff I was just looking at for this wind data instead. Let's say I don't want to do that. Let's say I want to get rid of these. I want to just add layers. I don't want to replace them. You hit this plus sign and allows you to do that. So an ensemble means that we have multiple models that are working together. So let's talk about that in more detail. If we look at our 2-meter temperatures, we can look at the statistics. That is the mean. But then there's this other thing we can look at, and that is the spread. And how much spread there is in our 2-meter temperatures can tell us a lot about confidence in the forecast. So when it comes to 2-meter temperature spread, we can either use the maximum minimum, the 10th and 90th percentile, or the 25th to 75th percentile. I like 25th to 75th, especially because our pattern over the next few days isn't going to be too extreme. But we can change it from a shaded plot to a contour plot with the click of a button, and that allows you to see where spread is enhanced as you look through the forecast. So what do we notice as we look through the next couple of days? First thing I notice is right away we have a bit of a split from 25th percentile having a 30-degree initialization to 34-degree initialization. This is in the first hour of the forecast, and we already see a little bit of a spread in some of the southern counties of mid-Missouri. But as we take a look through the day, you'll notice that spread is only 1 to 2 degrees. That shows high confidence in the high temperature for the day. Let's look at the night. You'll notice that as we get through the overnight hours, and we start to see a cooler air mass move in, that our spread increases a lot. We have up to a 6-8 degree spread, depending on where you look, across mid-Missouri. And this tells me that there is lower confidence in this warm-up. You know what else it tells me? It's in a straight line like this. This has to do with some cloud cover or a frontal passage of some sort. As you'll notice, warm air is confined to the south and cool air is confined to the north as we head through the day Tuesday. So lots of information can be gleaned from a mean spread plot like this, and you can get many of these courtesy of DESI for a variety of different variables. That's precipitation, that's temperature, that's other things as well. So this is about what I'm going to show you for this main panel today. This can show you non-model data sets as well. But I think for today, this is a sufficient show that this can give you dynamic maps, looking at dynamic variables and different things as well for the map. Next thing I want to show you is the probabilistic sounding viewer. This shows you the box and whisker spread of different sorts of sounding ensemble members. So if we start, you'll notice near the surface, we have a pretty close profile. But then as we head up the atmospheric column, you'll notice that we do have some more uncertainty as observations start to pan out a little differently. A few other things that are cool about the sounding viewer, it shows you the bit of a spread that could be between ensemble members. You can also click on different variables and get a box and whisker plot of how much precipitable water or what the maximum temperature is going to be for the day, or the K index, a variety of different things there as well. So you can actually quantify uncertainty within a sounding using this probabilistic sounding viewer. So that is cool for sure. And you can visualize that uncertainty using means, plumes, and box and whisker plots on the main map. That applies to the hodograph as well. So the final thing I want to show you today with this Thomas Tool Tuesday is this graphical products chart. Now, this is something that's not easy to use for the public, so I'm just going to briefly tell you, this is how the National Weather Service makes some of their graphics. I have a temperature range graphic up that shows you the temperature mean spread courtesy of the REFS model. And you'll notice there that we might even start to hit the 70s, if this is to be correct, or the upper 60s near 70 this afternoon before we start to see a cool down on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's what I have for today as we head towards next week. I don't have an idea in mind now, so if you have any, please feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to integrate that into my Thomas Tool Tuesday for next week. But until next time, this was National Weather Service DESI. We'll be back next week with another video.